At midnight on June 2nd, Archangel Michael revealed a secret no one was ready for. At midnight, on the second day of the 6th month, heaven's veil thin. The clock did not merely strike 12, it split time in two. This was not the midnight of man, but the midnight of heaven. The heavens moved in silence, and suddenly, without announcement, without trumpet or thunder, Archangel Michael descended, not with noise, but with presence. After what felt like a divine hush, after what seemed like months of spiritual silence and delay, something shifted in the realm unseen. The silence broke, not with a shout, but with a revelation. On June 2nd, at midnight, the heavens aligned in a configuration not visible to human eyes. Stars obeyed commands ancient and divine. The Spirit hovered, not over chaos, but over the lives of the chosen. And it was in that hour, when most slept, when watchers watched in secret, and when the weary whispered prayers from tear-soaked pillows, that a gate opened. A spiritual gate. A gate into knowing, into power, into unveiling. This was not an hour for the many. This was not a word for the comfortable. It was not a blessing passed through loud pulpits or screens. No, this was for you. For the awakened one. For the marked one. For the soul who has heard God in the silence and felt the tension of heaven even in stillness. This message was delivered in the Spirit to those who had ears to hear, not ears of flesh, but ears of fire. The Spirit did not scream, it whispered. The gate did not shake, it opened, and only those watching felt it. There are moments in divine time that act as spiritual intersections. This midnight was one of them. A moment when time bowed to purpose. A moment when angels stood at the threshold waiting to be released. A moment when Archangel Michael, heaven's general, defender of the holy, stepped out from silence and made his presence known in spirit. But not all felt it, because not all were ready. And so, what was revealed was not shouted, it was sealed. His secret was not spoken to the masses, but to the remnant. To the one who has endured the fire without answers. To the one who has battled betrayal and kept praying. To the one who hath been marked not just by pain, but by promise. You were not just in a midnight moment, you were at a spiritual threshold. And what came through was not coincidence. It was calling. Stillness was the posture. Obedience was the key. Listening was the access. And those who chose distraction missed it. But you, yes, you, were drawn here not by chance but by divine magnetic pull. You are reading these words not because they were published, but because you were summoned. Now, take a deep breath, something sacred has begun. The night opened more than time. It opened truth. And what was revealed at that hour will shift everything. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Before the sun rises, before the world awakens, before the next breath is taken in routine, this must be heard. For this is not just a message, it is a holy interruption. It is a disruption of timelines, a shattering of spiritual slumber, and a divine dispatch from realms above. Archangel Michael has moved, not in noise, not in storm, not in spectacle, but in supernatural stillness, and the earth has barely caught up. This night, June 2nd, was chosen before time began. Long before calendars were created, before your parents named you, before betrayal pierced you, and before your spirit began to sense something coming, this moment, this exact midnight, was etched into eternity. Not as a vague mystery, but as a marked moment. A holy hinge between who you were and who heaven knows you to be. And as the veil thinned, as the second hand crossed over into a new spiritual day, Michael stepped forward, cloaked not in flame, but in assignment. His sword did not clang. His wings did not thunder, but his presence, undeniable. You felt it. That restlessness in your spirit, that quiet stirring, that sudden awareness that something in the atmosphere was no longer the same. That wasn't anxiety. That wasn't imagination. That was alignment, a divine ping in your soul, a signal that heaven's focus had turned toward you. Understand this. What happened at midnight was not random. You are not reading this by mistake. You have been summoned. Summoned not by a man's algorithm, not by luck, not even by curiosity, but by divine urgency. Heaven has issued a call, not a general announcement, but a personal awakening. One that has your name sealed upon it. One that interrupts everything familiar and demands your spirit to rise. You are not one of the many. You are one of the marked. This message is not for those who sleepwalk through prophecy. This is not for those who chase blessings without obedience. This is not for those who seek miracles but resist refinement. No. This word, this revelation, this dispatch, it's for you. The one who's been waiting in silence. The one who has watched the door but didn't know what you were waiting for. The one who felt the heavens were holding back something and couldn't explain why your heart was heavy even when nothing was wrong. It is for you. The one who's been called out before being called up. Hear the voice of the watcher, the warrior, the archangel. You have been weighed. You have been watched. You have been found faithful in the shadows. Now, the veil is lifting. This is not a message for a congregation. It is a message for a covenant. And Michael has not come with casual encouragement. He has come to reveal a secret, a holy intelligence from the throne of God. One that changes not only your direction, but your dimension. And because it is sacred, it could only be delivered in stillness. Because it is potent, it had to come after a season of silence. Because it is divine, it bypasses intellect and goes straight into the spirit. Before dawn breaks, you must understand, this is your holy announcement. And what is being revealed is not about what's coming to you, but what has always been inside you. The enemy fought you because of what was sealed in your DNA before you were formed. And now, at this midnight hour, the seal is being cracked open. Michael came, not with a crowd, not with noise, but with clarity. Clarity that pierces confusion, authority that breaks delay, revelation that activates destiny. He didn't wait for the world to wake up. He came at midnight, because that is when spirits are most still. That is when destinies can be whispered without distortion. That is when the Father speaks not to the crowd, but to the called. So now, awaken. Let your soul rise up from its weariness. Shake off the weight of unanswered questions and missed signs. The time is no longer coming. It has come. The gate is no longer closed. It is open. The voice is no longer silent. It is speaking. And you are no longer waiting, you are witnessing. Let the heavens record that you heard this message. Let the spirit realm take notice that you received it. Let the enemy realize he is too late. For at midnight, on June 2nd, a new scroll was opened with your name on it. And this moment, this very message, is the beginning of your unveiling. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. They thought you wouldn't notice. They thought the fog in your spirit would last forever. They thought the delay would distract you, that confusion would consume you, that the silence from heaven would drown out your discernment. But what they didn't know is that your spirit was listening, even when your emotions were unraveling. What they didn't count on was this moment, the midnight moment, where the silence cracked and the secret was released. You felt it, didn't you? That strange stirring in your gut, the unshakable tension, the moments where your peace felt pierced but you couldn't explain why, the dreams that were unclear, the conversations that felt coded, the people who once stood beside you now standing slightly behind, watching, withholding. You couldn't name it. But now it has a name. Betrayal. Subtle. Unspoken. Grasped in smiles. Cloaked in flattery. But never aligned with your destiny. Yes, someone's been watching you, not to protect, but to mimic. Not to love, but to gather intel. You felt their eyes on you in the spirit. You sensed their withdrawal, their hesitations, their shift. You caught the whispers in rooms you never entered. And though they tried to shroud it in kindness, heaven heard what they said when you weren't in the room. They whispered lies, but heaven listened. Archangel Michael did not appear for decoration. He appeared for disruption. He came to sever soul ties masquerading as friendship, to rip open the curtain hiding false alignments, to shake loose the shadows clinging to your favor, because something holy is about to be revealed in you, and the enemy sent watchers to monitor the becoming. But even they weren't ready for what was hidden inside you. They tried to figure out the pattern of your power, but they couldn't touch the source. They sensed the shift but couldn't stop the surge. And now, at midnight, heaven has made a decision. You will know the truth, and the truth will unmake the web they tried to spin around you. Confusion was never your enemy. It was your trigger. It was meant to push you to pray deeper, to cry louder, to question more sharply. The spiritual unrest wasn't chaos. It was confirmation. Heaven had already been dispatching angels before you even knew you were under surveillance. Because the secret Michael came to reveal was never about them. It was always about you. You are the secret. You are the threat. You are the reason they were afraid. And that fear, it wasn't just about your now. It was about your next. Because the moment you walk fully into clarity, you become unshakable. The moment your eyes open to the full truth, your decisions change, your associations shift, and your authority multiplies. So yes, they withheld information. They distorted your name. They made it seem like you were the unstable one, the overthinker, the dramatic one. But what they were really doing was trying to cover a truth they couldn't control. They feared what you would become if you ever found out who you really were. And now you know. Michael came to unlock the reality you were always meant to walk in. He came to remove the blindfolds created by emotional manipulation, spiritual gaslighting, and years of inner fragmentation. This was not just a night of revelation. It was a night of reclamation. You are taking back your sight. You are reclaiming your knowing. You are shaking the dust off of your divine memory. And the fog is lifting not because the season is over, but because your soul is finally ready. The betrayals, they didn't break you. They sharpened you. The confusion, it didn't destroy you. It purified your discernment. The silence, it didn't signal abandonment. It created space for heaven's voice to echo louder. Now, emotional balance is being restored. Spiritual clarity is being poured out. The secret is being made plain. And what was once hidden in shadows is now standing in the light. You will never again doubt what you felt in your spirit. You will never again question the nudges, the warnings, the supernatural discomfort. Because what you felt was real. What you suspected was valid. and what is being revealed is liberating. So lift your head, child of fire. Dry your tears, chosen one. The secret has been spoken in the spirit realm, and the ripple is reaching you now. This is not the time to look back in pain. This is the hour to look ahead in power. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive insight, spiritual updates, and divine encouragement. It's your spiritual lifeline in this season. Type "I am awakened" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1414 is now flooding your life. You didn't imagine the war. You didn't exaggerate the pressure. You didn't fabricate the pain. Every conflict, every delay, every strange resistance, it was real. But here is the revelation Archangel Michael brings to you now, from the throne of God. What you thought was chaos was actually confirmation. What you perceived as sabotage was divine separation. And what you labeled as warfare was really a refining fire custom designed to activate your hidden rank in the spirit. Yes, you've been in a battle, but not just any battle. A targeted one. Not because you were weak, but because you were marked. Not because you were ordinary, but because you were anointed. The enemy does not waste ammunition on the unchosen. The pressure was proof of your position. And now, heaven is pulling back the curtain to show you what was really happening behind the scenes. That relationship that suddenly crumbled. It wasn't betrayal. It was divine exposure. That job that fell through. It wasn't rejection. It was heaven's redirection. That friend who turned cold. That family member who grew distant. That leader who overlooked you. That opportunity that escaped you. None of it was random. It was a holy evacuation of people, places, and patterns that could not be allowed into your next dimension. Listen carefully. The conflict was never about your present. It was always about your calling. And your calling terrified the forces that watched you grow. You weren't under attack because of what you've done. You were under attack because of who you're becoming. There is a version of you that walks in such spiritual authority, such prophetic precision, such heavenly boldness, that hell had to try and block you prematurely. So it sent conflict, not to destroy you, but to distract you. Because if the enemy can disrupt your emotions, he can delay your decisions. If he can cloud your discernment, he can counterfeit your destiny. But here's the truth Michael delivers tonight. Heaven never lost sight of you, even when you couldn't see your own way. You were never forsaken. You were being fortified. You see, while people looked at your reaction, heaven was watching your resilience. While they measured your pain, God was measuring your potential. While they spoke of your breakdown, angels were guarding your breakthrough. Every single attack came through divine surveillance. Heaven saw everything. Every eye roll. Every message sent behind your back. Every lie disguised as love. Every false prophecy spoken over your name. Nothing was hidden from the courts of heaven. And God did not respond with wrath. He responded with refinement. Because your elevation could not be built on contaminated connections. The delay wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You weren't being pushed back. You were being pulled aside. Hidden. Protected. Process. Because God couldn't let the wrong people benefit from your breakthrough. He couldn't let leeches eat from the table he prepared for you. He couldn't let spiritually bankrupt people manipulate your anointing for their gain. So he allowed the conflict, not to crush you, but to clarify you. And now, in this hour, Michael stands guard over your path. The warfare has shifted. The conflict was never the goal, it was the filter. And you passed the test. This is the moment where your reaction becomes your weapon. You could choose revenge. But heaven says, choose release. You could choose bitterness. But heaven commands, choose boldness. You could return fire with fire. But Michael whispers, stand in stillness. Let me fight. Because the battle you're in right now is spiritual, not personal. The conflict you've experienced is a sign that your name has reached the ears of hell and the heart of God at the same time. And the earth is responding accordingly. This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the time to second-guess what you've seen, felt, or heard in the Spirit. This is your hour of holy clarity. You've been called out, because you are being called up. So now, take courage. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not forsaken. You are being formed. You are not under judgment. You are under covering. And your enemy, you overplayed his hand, because everything he tried to use against you is now becoming the very evidence of your elevation. Let the conflict speak. Let the chaos testify. You survived what was sent to silence you, and now heaven is sending instructions for your next assignment. Michael has seen it. Heaven has sealed it. And the fire that tried to burn you will now become the wind beneath your wings. Type I am rising in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing code 2288 is now shifting your atmosphere. Within 72 hours, what was hidden will be seen. What was whispered in darkness will echo in the light. What they buried with silence will rise with fire. Archangel Michael is not here with gentle counsel. He has come with militant urgency. This is a divine alert, a holy interruption in your routine. The Spirit of God is stirring the heavens, and the earth is responding with shifting shadows. The weight you felt lately, the tension in your spirit, the dreams that won't let you sleep, that's not paranoia. That's prophetic pressure. Something is moving. And it's not just in the natural. It's in the spirit realm, and it's closing in. Michael has stepped forward, not with mystery, but with mandate. The countdown has begun. Within the next 72 hours, a confrontation is coming. A revelation is about to be forced to the surface. And those who have been working in silence against you, those who have been operating in manipulation, secrecy, or stolen access, will no longer be able to hide. Exposure is imminent. You may have felt the storm building. Your body has been heavy. Your peace has been inconsistent. You've noticed the subtle shifts, glitches in patterns, sudden changes in energy, interruptions in communication, odd dreams, spiritual agitation. That is not circumstantial. That is spiritual intelligence. The realm of heaven is preparing for movement, and your spirit is sensing the vibration of divine strategy unfolding. Michael has revealed that there are individuals who have taken something that belongs to you. Not just tangible, spiritual. They have mimicked your words, taken your ideas, tried to copy your oil, used your open heart to gather information and positioned it to benefit themselves. They saw your purity and tried to package it as their power. But gone so. And now, heaven will respond. They carry something stolen from you. That's the coded message being released. Whether it was your peace, your intellectual property, your prophetic vision, your favor with someone in leadership, your spiritual momentum, your financial opportunity. your emotional trust. Something was taken. But the enemy made one fatal mistake. He thought heaven would stay silent. He underestimated what midnight truly activated. This is not a time to fear, but it is a time to be alert, to be sensitive, to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. Because what's coming next is not just exposure, it's confrontation. And it won't look the way you expect. It may show up in a text, in a slip of the tongue, in an unexpected visit, in a conversation that turns sideways. The Spirit says, do not engage emotionally. Respond prophetically. There is a surge building. The enemy knows his grip is loosening. The energy in your atmosphere is about to shift, and when it does, every lie will begin to unravel. But here's what you must know. The secret Michael revealed to you has created a collision course in the realm of influence. Heaven has made a decision. Your name can no longer be buried. Your calling can no longer be delayed. The gates that were locked against your purpose are being shattered by angelic force. So yes, the confrontation is near. But you do not need to panic. You were not built for peacekeeping, you were forged for truth-telling. And you are not alone. Michael is not just appearing. He is stationed. He is assigned to your house, to your name, to your destiny. And every movement in the next 72 hours is under divine surveillance. Nothing will catch heaven off guard. Let this be your warning and your weapon. Stay in posture. Stay in silence. Stay in spiritual authority. Don't let your flesh speak before your spirit has processed. Don't let the enemy bait you with drama to forfeit your dominion. You don't have to defend yourself. Heaven is handling your name. You don't have to clap back. Michael is handling the confrontation. You don't need to gather evidence. God is unsealing the scrolls himself. And while the enemy is scrambling to cover his tracks, the Holy Spirit is about to uncover the truth. This is not just vindication. It's activation. What is being stirred now is a sacred disruption. It is God's divine reversal wrapped in earthly chaos. The truth must be exposed, not just to free you, but to establish you. You've been prepared for this moment. The silence, the frustration, the training. It wasn't punishment. It was protection. And now, the secret that was revealed to you is becoming the spark that will ignite everything that was prophesied. The clock is ticking. The realm is watching. And heaven is moving. Type "I will be still" in the comments if this word prepares you. Blessing code 9090 is activating around you. Now that the clock has started ticking, now that the confrontation has been set in motion, heaven has only one instruction for you. Withdraw. Be still. Do not answer in flesh. Yes, you heard the whisper. Yes, you feel the pull to respond. Yes, your emotions want to explain, to expose, to retaliate. But Michael has come to shield you with something stronger than words, with wisdom. You're not backing down. You're rising up, strategically. Heaven doesn't need your reaction. It needs your restraint. This is the hour of prophetic positioning, not emotional outbursts. The flesh wants justice now. The spirit is being trained for eternal vindication. And here is the divine truth. Your silence in this moment is not weakness. It is warfare. They want a response. They're provoking it. In the spirit, Michael shows shadows moving, whispers being seeded, manipulations quietly orchestrated. Those who operate from insecurity and jealousy are hoping your voice will break the silence so they can twist it. But the Spirit of the Lord says, be still. Your silence is prophesying. Understand this. When you withhold a fleshly response, heaven amplifies your spiritual resonance. Your refusal to respond in anger becomes the echo of your authority. Your stillness, though it may look passive, is actually prophetic resistance. It's the shield that renders every assignment of confusion powerless. The enemy cannot weaponize what you refuse to release. Withdraw not as a retreat, but as a repositioning. Even Jesus withdrew before his greatest moments of power. David hid in caves before sitting on the throne. Elijah went silent in the wilderness before fire fell from heaven. This is a sacred pause, not out of fear, but out of foresight. You are not hiding. You are healing in the shadows before heaven brings you into the light. And in this withdrawal, you are not alone. Michael stands between you and what hunts you. The moment you chose not to respond in the flesh, you activated heavenly warfare on your behalf. The battle now belongs to the Lord, and the angels have been released on assignment. You don't have to track what they are saying. You don't have to monitor what's being plotted. You don't have to eavesdrop, explain, or exert energy. Heaven is handling what your flesh never could. So, how do you walk in this sacred stillness? You do it by anchoring yourself in divine affirmations. Let these be your weapons. I am surrounded by the host of heaven. My name is defended in rooms I've never entered. No lie will outlive the truth God is preparing to reveal. Silence is not weakness, it is spiritual warfare. You declare them not as hopeful wishes, but as legal decrees in the courts of heaven. With every breath, you are aligning with Michael's battle cry. With every declaration, you are syncing with heaven's rhythm. This season demands your stillness, not so the enemy wins, but so that you do not forfeit the full weight of your victory. Some attacks are meant to trick you into opening doors with your own words. But the Spirit says, I will close the mouths of lions if you refuse to feed them. Michael is not just watching, he is fighting. And he fights best when your spirit is in surrender. He stands between you and backlash, between your name and the trap, between your reputation and the ruin. Heaven knows how to fight holy battles. You've been trained for such a time as this. And now, you are moving not by force, but by faith. This is your quiet strategy, your sacred blueprint. This is what separates warriors from wanderers, the chosen from the common. You know when to speak, but you also know the supernatural power of withdrawing into divine stillness. In this stillness, the Lord will give you dreams. In this stillness, clarity will return. In this stillness, angelic movement will intensify. In this stillness, restoration will begin behind the veil. And when it's time to speak, you'll do so not with emotion, but with anointing. Your voice will carry weight. Your words will strike true. But not yet. Not while the fire is still consuming what must burn. So breathe. Fast if led. Journal what you hear. Guard your gates. Protect your peace. Speak only what the Spirit authorizes. And know this, what heaven is doing in stillness now will shake the earth openly soon. You are not being passive. You are being prophetic. You are not being ignored. You are being insulated. You are not stepping away. You are stepping into a higher realm of power. Stay still, stay sealed, stay set apart. Type I will not move without God in the comments if you receive this instruction. Blessing code 3355 is wrapping your household now. Now that stillness has settled over you like armor, now that silence has become your shield, now that you've chosen divine strategy over emotional eruption, a shift is happening. Not in the physical first, but in the spiritual core of your identity. You are no longer standing in the aftermath of betrayal. You are standing in the birthing room of becoming. You see, the lie they wanted you to believe, The lie the enemy whispered at your weakest is that you were broken, that your story was contaminated, that because of what was done to you, because of who walked away, because of what doors were slammed shut, you had no voice left to rise with. But heaven is speaking something radically different over you now. You are not a victim. You are a vessel that has been purified in fire, a vessel that has been hidden for preservation, a vessel that carries weight, not just words. Your value was never lost in the fire. It was forged there. And now, the Spirit of God speaks this word with urgency. Everything that once made you feel too small is now the very evidence that you were being strengthened for a bigger assignment. This is the season where you must begin to see yourself not through the filter of what failed, but through the lens of what's being formed. They knew the old you, the insecure version, the afraid version, the people-pleasing, compromise-making, watered-down version. But heaven knows the becoming. Heaven knows the firebrand that's rising. Heaven knows the authority that's being unlocked. And now, you must know it too. Because what happened to you wasn't an ending, it was an incubation. You weren't dismissed. You were developed. You weren't forgotten. You were fashioned in silence like a weapon hidden in a sheath. You weren't overlooked, you were overhauled. While you cried, heaven carved. While you hid, God healed. While you mourned, the angels moved around you, adjusting your alignment to prepare for what's now being activated. You've been walking through a spiritual metamorphosis, and the cocoon is finally cracking. This shift is not just about healing, it's about holy fire. You are not just rising, you are rising with force. There is a strength forming in you now that isn't sourced from adrenaline or defense, but from divine awareness. The awareness that nothing that happened to you had the power to cancel what was inside of you. This is why they feared your silence. This is why they tested your boundaries. This is why the warfare hit your identity, because if you ever realized who you were, what you carried, and what your presence shifts in the atmosphere, the enemy would lose all leverage over you. Let this be the moment you declare it. You are not who the wind says you are. You are not who they walk away from. You are not the brokenness. You are the becoming. You are the answer to someone else's bondage. You are the fulfillment of a bloodline prayer. You are the chain breaker in your generation. You are the one heaven chose to rise, not despite the warfare, but because of it. Archangel Michael has made it clear. This is not the time to retreat into the past version of yourself. Do not resurrect the insecurity. Do not rehearse the betrayal. Do not return to the graveyard of your old identity. This is not your burial. It's your resurrection. The secret was not just what they did. It was always what God was building in you. You are now walking in the ignition phase. What was dormant is being quickened. What was buried is being recalled. You don't even realize how close you are to the tipping point. Your faith is about to find its fire again. Your feet are about to walk on ground that was once forbidden. Your voice is about to carry the frequency of authority, not apology. You are stepping into the part of your life where fear bows to fire, where your enemies no longer intimidate, because you know who stands beside you. Michael isn't just watching, he is walking with you. And every step you take now echoes with divine confidence. This is your moment to rise. Not small, not hesitant, but anointed and activated. What happens next is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving God right. It's about walking in the very image he saw when he called your name in the womb. You're not getting your power back. You're just finally realizing it was never gone. Type I am the fire in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 7777 is igniting your next season now. The secret revealed at midnight was not about them. It was not about the betrayal, the sabotage, the shifting alliances, or the people who faded into silence. That was the smoke. But the fire, the real revelation, the one that the enemy never wanted you to discover, the truth Archangel Michael descended to deliver, was this. The secret was always about you. It was never their rejection that mattered, it was your recognition. Your recognition of what you carry. Your recognition of the assignment sealed in your spirit before the world even knew your name. Your recognition that heaven has been waiting, watching, warring, for you to awaken. The mystery wasn't external. It was encoded in your very DNA. What Michael unlocked in that midnight hour was not just information. It was activation. You were born with it. Called in it. Covered by it. And now, in this moment of prophetic unveiling, what's been hidden in layers of delayed disappointment and distortion is finally being uncovered. You are stepping into the revelation of your divine design. The secret is not soft. It is not subtle. It is disruptive, catalytic, world-altering. The moment you come into full agreement with what heaven has already decided about you, everything must shift. That's why hell fought you so violently. That's why confusion wrapped itself around your thoughts. Because if you ever saw yourself correctly, the warfare would become irrelevant. You were never forgotten. You were fortified. You were not punished. You were prepared. And now, you're not just entering a new season. You are entering a new dimension. The pressure wasn't just resistance. It was revelation. The pain wasn't punishment. It was prophecy wrapped in fire. Every tear carried a message. Every night you laid down wondering why your name was being left out, heaven was writing it in bold across eternal scrolls. Michael didn't come to whisper encouragement. He came to sound the trumpet of divine identity. The heavens are now announcing what has always been true but long concealed. You are the one. You are the one the enemy feared. You are the one hell tried to exhaust. You are the one heaven never stopped defending. You are the one whose breakthrough will open gates for others. You are the one carrying the prophecy through your very being. This moment right now is not just about feeling better. It's about stepping higher. There's an increase coming. But it's not just financial. It's dimensional. Your discernment is leveling up. Your voice will carry a different tone. Your name will be mentioned in rooms your feet haven't entered yet. But don't mistake it for favor alone. It's evidence of the elevation your warfare has qualified you for. You've been entrusted. You've been validated in silence. The anointing that's about to break over your life is not new. It's ancient. It's a prophetic oil that has been waiting for your agreement. And now, Michael declares, the time is now. This isn't about waiting anymore. It's about walking. This isn't about asking for permission. It's about accepting your placement. You are not standing at the edge of possibility. You are standing in the center of a prophetic release. The enemy tried to convince you you were being punished. But now you understand. This was a promotion disguised in pain. You didn't lose anything of value. They lost access to someone heaven was backing. You didn't miss anything you needed. God was pruning distractions so you could be trusted with more. The doors that closed weren't denial. They were divine deflection, steering you away from people who couldn't handle your fire. The secret Michael revealed was never meant to be made public. It was sacred, personal, and potent. It wasn't for the crowd. It was for the covenant. And now that it hath been spoken into your spirit, it cannot be undone. You are carrying the scroll. You are walking with the mantle. You are the manifestation of prayers prayed generations before your birth. This is your time to move like you believe it. Think like you know it. Speak like it's settled. No more hinting. No more questioning your worth. No more replaying the trauma. You've been marked. And that mark is not a target. It's a sign of divine trust. You are rising into prophetic authority. You are carrying what your lineage prayed for. You are chosen for impact that cannot be copied, cannot be canceled, cannot be stolen. And now, as the heavens watch and the earth adjusts to your awakening, step boldly. Step bravely. Step fully. The secret hath been revealed, and it was you all along. If this message unlocked something within you, if the revelation ignited your faith, consider supporting this movement with a super thanks or a membership. Even a $5 gift helps us continue releasing powerful, spirit-led content that shifts atmospheres and stirs hearts. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And don't forget to subscribe. Stay connected for exclusive prophetic insight, spiritual guidance, and powerful revelations that speak directly to your season. Type "The Secret is Me" in the comments if this word is yours. Blessing code 4444 is now unveiling your destiny. Now that the secret has been unveiled, now that the heavens have whispered your name with clarity and finality, now that you know it was never about being overlooked but about being reserved, the Spirit of God says, it is time. No more waiting. No more wondering. No more circling the same emotional deserts. This is your moment to step boldly into your assignment. This is the hour of destiny activation. Heaven is not waiting on confirmation. Heaven is waiting on your agreement. The question is not whether you are called. The question is not whether you are capable. The only question now is this: will you say yes? Will you move in faith, even if your feet are still trembling? Will you declare your identity out loud, even when the room grows silent? Will you activate what's been incubating inside your spirit? The weight you carry is not a burden. It is a blueprint. The vision that won't leave you alone isn't imagination. It's divine instruction. The desires stirring inside you are not random. They are the coded pull of your destiny trying to wake you from the numbness of delay. You've been stirred. You've been confirmed. Now, heaven is requiring you to respond. This is not about hype. It's not about performance. It's not about chasing opportunity. This is about obedient movement. Heaven says, what you do next must align with what you just heard. Because activation is not a feeling. It's a decision. And alignment without action is delay in disguise. Archangel Michael did not come to whisper sweet words of comfort. He came to ignite movement. He came to push you into obedience. He came to tear down every mental barrier, every voice of inadequacy, every false identity that's kept you imprisoned in hesitation. He came to remind you, destiny is not passive. Destiny is a divine partnership. Heaven's part has been completed. The scroll has been unsealed. The instruction has been released. And now, your part must begin. You are not here to survive. You are here to shift generations. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break cycles. You are not here to question your value. You are here to fulfill prophecy. You are the fulfillment of promises made long before you were born. And now, everything in creation is waiting for your response. The enemy's greatest fear is not that you would hear this word. It's that you would act on it. It's that you would start writing the book. That you would start the ministry. That you would speak the truth. that you would walk away from the counterfeit, that you would embrace the real you without apology or fear. Because once you act in alignment with heaven, the gates open, favor flows, acceleration begins, divine doors appear, and no man, no demon, no opposition can stand against what God has ordained. This is not the season to doubt what you discern. It is the season to activate what's been deposited, to pick up the vision, to move toward the unfamiliar, to trust that God did not bring you this far to abandon you now. What He began in you, He is faithful to complete, through you. So what does activation look like? It looks like declaration. Speak what God has said over your life. It looks like obedience, small steps that build momentum. It looks like preparation, making room for what you know is coming. It looks like surrender, laying down your fears and picking up your mantle. It looks like action with expectation. Some of you are being called to journal the prophetic instructions you've received. Some are being prompted to fast and recalibrate your focus. Others are being stirred to build, to move, to speak, to begin. Whatever the instruction is for you, do not delay. Do not hesitate. Do not wait for another confirmation. This word is your confirmation. Heaven has signed it. Michael has carried it. Now you must live it. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for participation. He is not waiting for your flawless performance. He is waiting for your fearless yes. Because every time you say yes to the unknown, heaven responds with resources, revelation, and release. This is the activation moment, the point of no return. You cannot unhear this word. You cannot unknow this truth. And you cannot walk backward into old versions of yourself. Destiny does not dwell in delay. It lives in obedient movement. Heaven is watching. The earth is groaning. The Spirit is stirring. And you are being summoned. You are being aligned. You are being called to rise and take your place. Don't shrink. Don't stall. Don't silence your roar. This is your hour to move like you're chosen, think like you're sent, and act like your name is written in fire. Type yes to destiny in the comments if this word activates you. Blessing code 8181 is now unlocking new doors before you. While you rested, while you wept in quiet rooms, while you wondered if your prayers had slipped into a void, something sacred was happening. In the stillness, in the silence, beyond what your natural eyes could see or ears could hear, the spirit realm was alive, negotiating on your behalf. There was an exchange taking place, an invisible transaction, a divine reversal of everything the enemy thought he had gained. And Archangel Michael stood not only as a warrior, but as a witness to the holy exchange. What was stolen from you in shadows is now being returned in the light. This is not poetic hope, it is prophetic fact. Every tear you cried was recorded. Every heartbreak you endured was witnessed. Every delay you suffered was noted. Nothing in the spirit goes unseen when heaven has placed its mark on you. And now the Spirit of the Lord says, the ledger is being balanced. The cries of your heart have become legal petitions. The moments of silence have become binding contracts. Your pain did not go to waste. It became currency. Yes, currency. In the spirit realm, your obedience holds weight. Your surrender holds value. Your tears are not weakness. They are ink. And heaven hath been writing with them. Your suffering wrote covenants. Your prayers built altars. Your oscillation triggered angelic negotiations. There has been movement on your behalf. Your name hath been spoken in the halls of justice, not by man, but by the Spirit. And what was once yours, stolen by jealousy, lost through manipulation, hidden through sabotage, is now being reclaimed. Michael stands as an enforcer of the covenant. You didn't just survive the warfare, you secured something in the midst of it. And though no one saw it happen, though no trumpet sounded, though no one sent a congratulations or posted a praise report, the truth remains. Something shifted in the heavens, and it shifted because of you. There are spiritual trades occurring even now. You gave up comfort, and now boldness is being deposited. You surrendered control, and now strategy is being downloaded. You released toxic attachments, and now divine partnerships are forming behind the veil. You said yes when you didn't feel ready, and now new scrolls are being written with your name engraved in them. This is the reward of those who endure in silence. And here is the beauty of this exchange. No one around you may understand it. That's why it's silent. It's not for public celebration yet. It's for private sealing. God is securing the next stage of your assignment in secret so it cannot be stolen before it manifests. This is not the season for explanation. This is the season for spiritual transaction. Your sacrifice is being weighed. Your posture is being recorded. Your integrity is now being used as evidence in your favor. Michael has stood before the courts of heaven and declared your consistency. He has defended your character in the spirit. He has carried evidence of your endurance to the throne. And the judge, the Ancient of Days, has issued a ruling. Restore what was stolen. Return what was hijacked. Release what was delayed. This is the divine exchange. You are not empty. You are being filled. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned. You are not overlooked. You are being preserved. The very things that looked like losses were actually divine investments. And now, the return is being sent. The transactions are ongoing. You may not feel it. You may not see it. But you will soon walk in it. People will start treating you differently, and they won't know why. Rooms will shift when you enter, and it won't be because of your outfit, your title, or your tone. It will be because the spirit realm recognizes the exchange that took place. What was once bound is now loosed. What was once hidden is now ignited. You are carrying evidence of an invisible encounter. And hear this clearly. The enemy knows it too. He felt the moment heaven ruled in your favor. That's why strange resistance may try to rise in the natural. Don't be deceived. That's not a setback. It's a reaction. Hell is reacting to a victory it couldn't stop. And Michael has already been released to block every counterattack. The transaction is sealed. So what do you do now? You rest. Not in weakness but in certainty. You walk in assurance. You speak with authority. You think with clarity. Because the realm that once tried to rob you is now being used to reward you. The realm that once felt dark and disorienting is now moving in your favor. Everything is shifting. And it's not hype. It's not fantasy. It's fulfillment. You are the result of a holy exchange. The shift wasn't loud, but it was legally binding in heaven. You have stepped into a new status in the spirit. Carry it like you know it. Move like you're marked. Speak like the verdict has already been passed. Because it has. Type "the exchange is mine" in the comments if this word confirms your spirit. Blessing code 3030 is completing cycles and unlocking divine recompense. The time has come. The gavel has sounded. The courtroom of heaven has rendered its decision, and the case concerning you, your name, your pain, your loss, your tears, has been brought before the judge of all creation. And here is what the verdict reads: restoration, recompense, divine reversal. This is not imagination. This is not motivation. This is spiritual justice, activated by the law of heaven and enforced by the hand of God. Archangel Michael is no longer merely guarding. He is executing justice. His sword has been unsheathed not against you, but on behalf of you. What the enemy tried to twist, what your enemies tried to use against you, what was sent to delay or distort your purpose, heaven is now reversing. The weapon formed, but the verdict says it cannot prosper. The damage attempted, but the ruling declares it will be repaid sevenfold. Everything done in secret will now be seen in the light. Everything stolen in manipulation will be returned with interest. Those who mocked you in your valley will witness your ascension. Not for vengeance, but for validation. Not to prove your enemies wrong, but to prove your God faithful. This is not karma. This is not the universe. This is divine reckoning, an act of God in response to covenant alignment. You remained faithful when others folded. You remained pure when compromise could have opened doors. You remained quiet when you could have defended yourself. And heaven counted it all. Every silence, every sacrifice, every overlooked opportunity, every tear you swallowed instead of retaliating, every moment you chose character over clout. And now, the scales are tipping in your favor. God does not forget. He does not ignore injustice. And when heaven decides to respond, it is never halfway. It is never mild. It is never slow. It is sovereign. The Spirit of God says, you will see favor where you lost. You will receive access where you were denied. You will walk in rooms where your name was once rejected. Because the rejection was not final, it was framing your redemption. Even now, angels are being dispatched with scrolls marked with restoration orders. Reversals are happening in relationships, in finances, in health, in visibility, in influence. The people who turned their back on you are now watching with quiet awe as the oil on your life flows like never before. And still, your posture must remain pure. This is not a time to become arrogant. This is not the hour to seek revenge. This is the moment to walk in reverence. Because God did what man could not. Because heaven defended you in ways your words never could. The throne room responded when the courtroom ignored you. When earthly systems failed, the courts of Zion ruled with justice in hand. And this reversal is holy. It is now very goayu. It is a prophetic fulfillment. The tables are turning because the time has come. The honor you were denied is now being released. The confusion you endured is being replaced with clarity. The shame you wore is being stripped off, and a new garment is being placed on your shoulders, the garment of the vindicated. This reversal will not make sense to the carnal. It will not be understood by those who measure success by shallow metrics. But the spiritual will see it. The discerning will know. The earth will feel the shift. Because when God rules in favor of his anointed, the evidence appears in every realm. Even your enemies will be forced to acknowledge it. The Lord has done this. You will not have to fight to be seen. You will not have to explain the blessings. You will not have to apologize for the overflow. What was once warfare has now become witness. Your life is becoming a visible demonstration of heaven's justice and divine order. So now, take your place with humility and confidence. Let the oil run. Let the river flow. Let your past be your altar, and your present be your prophecy. The season of reversal is not coming. It is here. And the God of justice has not only ruled, he has already begun to release. If this word has hit your spirit like thunder, if you know you are walking into the hour of divine reversal, consider sowing into this movement through a super thanks, super chat, or super sticker. Whether it's $10, $20, or any amount, your support, keeps this message moving into the lives of others who need it. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And be sure to subscribe, so you never miss these time-sensitive messages of divine movement, spiritual strategy, and heavenly alignment. Type "Divine Justice is Mine" in the comments if this is your word. Blessing code 9911 is moving through your timeline now. Midnight has come and gone, but what it delivered into your life has just begun. The veil has been pulled back. The scroll has been unsealed. The secret has been spoken. And the one who was always marked, always known, always chosen, you, has finally heard what heaven had been trying to get to you all along. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not behind. You are in alignment. On the night of June 2nd, the realms opened. And what came through wasn't random, it was revelation. Not a general message. Not a mass outpouring. But a holy unveiling, sent from the throne and delivered by the hand of Archangel Michael himself. He did not come in loudness, but in lightning. He did not arrive with noise, but with knowing. And what he spoke will echo for the rest of your days. This message has sealed you, covered you, aligned you. The winds of change are already responding. The patterns that used to repeat are breaking. The shadows that used to linger are fleeing. Why? Because the gate that opened at midnight wasn't just celestial. It was personal. The gate that opened was in your spirit. And what came through was not just information, it was impartation. Let this final blessing rest upon you like oil. You are sealed. You are seen. You are surrounded. No weapon formed will prosper. No lie spoken will linger. No assignment sent against your identity will find landing. You are rising into the fullness of time. Heaven has spoken. Michael has moved. The secret hath been revealed. And you are ready. Now rise. Stand tall. Breathe deeply. Walk boldly. Because from this moment forward, you are walking in the authority of one who knows the secret and has become it. Type "I am activated" in the comments if you receive this closing blessing. Blessing code 2024 is resting on your name.